Hey guys, we're taking a look at Beelzebub pressure game. So I didn't quite understand this pressure when I first played him. Took it to the lab, did a bit of work, played a couple matches online. I think I finally found something that I think usable. So let's share the tech. So the way this is going to work is we're going to layer offense in two ways. The first way is learning like basic block strings to kind of push opponents away from you, and that distance is really important. We'll talk about that in layer two, where you use the distance to your advantage because Beelzebub probably has really farther range than most characters in the game. So using some of his normals as well as the black hole. So layer one is going to be the pressure offense. So let's take a look at that. First thing you need to learn is like some really basic, probably two pressure strings, and these are the ones that I use. You can use something different if you like, but feel free to copy this as well. So you go up to your opponent, just start mashing lights. So three of them, right? 1, 2, 3, and then low, medium into fireball. Now you'll take a look at that. It actually leaves you plus, which is really good. So if your opponent acts and you act at the same time, typically your move is going to hit first, which is really good because this move right here is your everything. And stand H is going to be able to just pop people pressing buttons at when they get pushed out in mid-range. Like, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in layer 2. So 1, 2, 3, bam, bam. Yeah. Your plus, if they press the button, you can just slap them. Alright, you're probably wondering why I didn't use this move right here, and that is because you can see there my character turns red because I'm at disadvantage. If my opponent decides to do something, I can only act, well, I'll act later than they can act. So if I do something like this, it doesn't really do me any good. The opponent's really far away from me now, and this is actually probably too far for what we want our offense to be. So again, 1, 2, 3, bam, fireball. They cannot really press buttons to that string. They probably DP, but they really can't press other buttons in that. DP is also kind of risky. So what we need to do is a way for them to sit down, and that is the way we're going to do that. Another string that I like to use is this one here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, which leaves them a little bit closer, which is great because, again, this is like right in their face. Again, we're going to talk about this stand H move in just a second. But again, so crouch L, stand L, crouch M, and then to fireball. So the light version. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see that leaves me again able to act before my opponent can act. You see my character's blue, which means I'm at advantage. So those are the two strings that we really need to learn. And we need to learn those because opponents can't really press buttons to them. They can't master them. They have to respect these for the most part. Now, what we can do is once we get our opponent to step down or sit down and not do anything, just wait for that string to end, we can start to mess with it a little bit. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So you can go, for example, we're going to use the 1, 2, 3, 4 string, right? 3 lights into the low, medium, and into fireball. What we're going to do is we're going to 1, 2, 3, and instead of the low forward or the low medium, I can't say low forward, it's not Street Fighter. We're going to use stand H. Stand H has got a bit of startup, but the range is great, and it also sets us up for using the black hole. So you'll take a look that if I'm close to my opponent and I use the black hole, so let's try this, like M into the black hole. I mean, you see my character's yellow there. I'm technically at disadvantage, so I really can't do much. It's just called slight disadvantage. You can't be punished, but you know, your opponent can act before you can. What I want to do is I want to get this to a range where Beelzebub's black hole actually leaves me at advantage and they're in my face. So I want my character to be blue and it pulls them in. So let's take a look at that. So from far away, when they have some distance between us, I can act before they can act, which is really good. And that's going to kind of start our level 2 offense, where once we've pushed them at a distance where we can do, instead of like this, so we do 1, 2, 3, and then something like that, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then that into the black hole. You can see there that I'm at advantage. So if my opponent presses a button in my face, then they're going to lose. That also leaves me in a situation where I can either A, throw them, which is cool. I can also do my command throw, which is his Skybound art. So like that. For bigger damage. Again, if you do the actual input rather than using the shortcut like I did, you'll actually get more damage out of that, so keep that in mind. So we want our strings to basically be able to end with the axe, the stand H. So our strings will change a little bit. So I showed you the first one, which was 1, 2, 3, that into the black hole. You can also change the other string that I talked about, which was 1, 2, 3. You can do something like that. You can just do 1, 2, 3. Oh, oops, excuse me. You can do 1, 2, 3. Take a step back, pull them in. You're plus. You're at advantage. And so that's how you start to get people to really fidget around. Because you basically put them in a situation where they have to guess if you're going to do this axe or this low. The low will catch them if they try to move, and the axe will catch them if they try to jump or they try to do anything stupid, right? Other than block. Or DP. They can DP, but you know, they can always DP. And so with these two sets of like offense, you're pretty free to just kind of mess with the opponent. It starts to put them in a mind game when you're in, or when they're in your space, what we call. So you'll go from things like 1, 2, 3, 1, bam, and then you do the second time around. You notice they're not moving. You can go 1, 2, 3, bam, pull them in, 1, 2, or 1, 2, something like that, right? You really just kind of keep layering that offense so they get fidgety and try to get out and make some mistake, right? You trick them, so to speak, right? Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, so what's really good is the second phase of this is when you do your regular strings, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. They're right in front of you. That's a little far, but 1, 2, we might do something like the other string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, where they're really close. If they try to press something after this, you can just kind of just do this, right? So you can kind of test the waters the first couple times where they get pushed out and they're like right at that range where this stand H is going to slap them, and just test them, see if they do anything. I mean, it's a really good way to just like pop, and then you can just confirm into that. If it doesn't hit, you're safe because you got pushed so far back, right? It does a little bit of chip damage as well. And if you do hit them, then this combos. So you get like, I don't know, what is that? Grip of damage, about 2,000, something like that. It's really good, yeah. So again, you want to learn those two strings up close, and you want to always end with your light fireball. I can't stress that enough. Ending with this is pretty bad. You basically lose your turn. You can't keep acting after that. Your opponent is able to move before you can. Into the fireballs like that, you want to end those strings, and then once you have them right in front of that space that you control, if they press anything, test them. And then if they're really committed to just not moving, what you can do is you can say, okay, 1, 2, 3, slap them, pull them in, 1. You can repeat the strings basically. So if I have them out here, oh, excuse me, I'm out here and it's just, whoa. You can keep repeating these strings. So you can say, whoa, pull them in, excuse me. Do the same thing. Throw in the throws a couple of times. You really can just mess with the offense. So that's going to be it for this video. Please give it a try. Practice the strings in training mode. Practice the confirms. Like if you actually hit the opponent, see what you can do. See what kind of combos you can get off of that. I'm going to let you guys explore a little bit more. Let me know if you guys have any other pressure strings or ways to pressure your opponents with Beelzebub down below in the comments. I'll be reading there and looking, maybe making amends to this video based off what I see there. Also, guys, if you like the content, I've been doing a lot of Granblue Versus stuff very recently. I also have a Patreon. Links in the description below. You can check that out there. Please consider supporting me. Thanks for the folks who are supporting me. Thanks for the current patrons. Yeah, you can also find me on Twitter. I also stream on Twitch. I think Twitter and Twitch, both of those, the URLs are basically east_ml, /Twitch or whatever, right? Yeah, or Twitter. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.